Kozhikode, long renowned for its multicultural history and centuries-old trade in teak and spices, is now one of the fastest-growing cities in India, ahead of Pune, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, according to a New York University research report published in 2014. The city now experiences growing pains and the various obstacles and bottlenecks that obstruct developmental agendas. One example of spatial issues facing Kozhikode is the long-standing problem of slums occupying prime government land. These include a 2-acre settlement in Nadakavu, a 25% block next to the Corporation Stadium, and most prominently, the 4-decade-old Kalluthankadavu slum occupying 4 acres in Pudiyara, all prime locations in the city. Another spatial challenge is the overburdened Palayam wholesale vegetable and fruit market, occupying 5.5 acres in the heart of the city. Originally commissioned decades ago, it now hosts 100 wholesale and retail shops and a bus stand, accommodating 70-odd buses. It has long been strained beyond capacity and is now an eyesore, and its incessant round-the-clock trade activity is a constant obstacle to vehicle movement in a key nodal point for city traffic. These challenges are to be addressed by the Urban Local Body (ULB) of the Kozhikode Municipal Corporation. A third-tier government entity headed by the current mayor, Mr. Thottathil Ravindran, and his able and efficient corporation secretary, Mr. Binu Francis, and backed by a full-fledged multifunctional team. The corporation commissioned ICICI KINFRA, a Kerala government joint venture headed by MD and CEO Mr. Sarath Chandran, for a viable solution to this twin challenge of slum rehabilitation and wholesale market relocation. ICICI KINFRA also availed the services of a Bangalore-based architecture firm, Archons, headed by Mr. Deepak IK, to draw up a viable and comprehensive plan that addresses the concerns of all stakeholders involved. The solution arrived at is a PPP involving the ULB and developer KADCO. KADCO, the entity which won the project in a competitive bid, is chaired by Mr. Mujib Rahiman and assisted by Managing Director Mr. Ali Manodikail and Director Mr. E.P. Abdul Rahiman. Mr. Sarath Chandran and his team have since moved on to Trans India Infrastructure and Advisory Private Limited (TI&A) after the RBI directed dissolution of ICICI KINFRA in 2014, but seamlessly continues his advisory and intermediary role to the ULB and KADCO. In the first phase, KADCO has built a 140 housing unit apartment in a 7-story building with 20 flats per floor, occupying an acre at the western end of Kalluthankadavu. This is at an incurred cost of 13.5 crores and operates on a build-transfer basis and is now ready for occupancy. Archons has ensured it's been built to the highest market standards, with optimal space utility being a central priority and materials and design matching the best in the market. Each unit has a bedroom, hall kitchen and bathroom. This phase of the project is complete and the flats are ready for occupancy. The Kalluthankadavu and the other 2 slums will move in at once without any expense on their part. They get a cleaner, healthier living environment, elevated social status and all attendant benefits. ULB will clear the vacated space in Kalluthankadavu and KADCO will begin the second phase of the project, 2 lakh square feet of built-up space towards the relocation of Palayam wholesale market. Apart from shops, this facility will have all modern amenities like internal roads, parking, loading bays, cold storage, drivers' rooms and landscaping. KADCO's outlay for the second phase is 50 to 55 crores. The market, upon completion, will be run by KADCO on build, operate, transfer basis from its commercial operation date (COD). The success of this project is the culmination of the long, dedicated efforts of many, and special mention must be made of the invaluable contributions of ex-mayors VKC Mamad Koya, M. Bhaskaran, Professor Premajam and Professor Abdul Latif. The flats are ready for occupation, and the inauguration and handover will happen imminently in the presence of the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. The ULB KADCO Kozhikode Slum Rehabilitation and Market Relocation Project is PPP unique and unprecedented in its funding model, and planned and implemented for the first time in the country, and sets a viable blueprint for emulation for many other corporations or governments across the country that face similar challenges.